You know, sometimes a single powerful personal story can show you the entire blueprint for how faith is communicated. So today, we're going to break one down. We'll look at its core metaphors and the logical steps it takes to build a really compelling case for belief.
And it all kicks off with this single, powerful metaphor. Jesus is a doctor. Now, by putting divinity into a role that we all know and trust, the speaker immediately sets up this huge contrast, right? The limits of what worldly doctors can do versus the promise of something way more profound. This isn't just a casual statement. It's the very foundation of the entire argument to come.
And that idea naturally leads us into our first big theme, the supreme healer. So what does that even mean? To offer a healing that goes beyond anything earthly medicine can provide. The speaker uses this very concept to lay the groundwork for their entire belief system.
So this term, supreme healer, it's really the key. It's a signal that we've moved beyond the physical. We're not talking about a scraped knee here. The speaker is pointing to a kind of healing that gets at something much, much deeper, our spiritual and emotional core. And this healing, well, it's presented as this kind of three-part package: grace, love, and healing itself. It's a completely holistic vision. So this isn't about just finding a cure for one specific problem. It's about a total infusion of spiritual and emotional well-being. And that's really the bedrock of the speaker's faith.
Okay, so a promise of profound healing is one thing, but how do you actually get it? Well, the testimony gives us one clear key: faith. Faith is presented as the one essential tool you need to unlock all of those promises we just talked about. It turns a passive idea into something you actively do.
And here it is. This is probably the boldest claim in the entire testimony. Just listen to the absolute language. Only if you have faith, everything for you will be possible. Not some things, not most things, everything. This is a huge pivot point where the argument shifts from just describing a healer to promising you, the listener, basically limitless personal power. The speaker's logic is laid out in this beautifully simple three-step formula. It's almost like a recipe. Step 1, you believe. Step 2, you get a constant companion. And step 3, everything becomes possible. The real power of this is in its simplicity. It's a straight, clear path from one single action to this extraordinary, massive outcome.
And here's the immediate payoff. Before you even get to the whole everything is possible part, the testimony offers something even more fundamental. You are not alone. This promise of companionship speaks directly to one of our deepest human fears, being isolated. And that makes it a really powerful and immediate reward for believing.
So, we've gone from overcoming personal challenges, and now the testimony kind of zooms out to tackle the biggest question of all: why are we even here? It suggests that there's a divine plan for every single person, which shifts the whole focus from just getting support to having a real purpose.
And then, the speaker turns the tables and asks you, the listener, a really profound question. Why are you still living today? This isn't just a rhetorical trick. It's a direct invitation to look inward. It brilliantly shifts the conversation from what faith can give you to the very reason you exist.
And the answer they give? It's a really sharp contrast. Your life isn't a result of your own power or your good looks or anything you've done. Nope. The testimony argues that your very existence is proof that there's a divine plan for you. It's a radical reframing of self-worth. It's not about what you have, it's about the fact that you were chosen.
So what does this divine plan actually mean for you? Well, it boils down to two big things. First, it circles back and reinforces that promise of companionship. You are not alone. But second, it adds this whole new layer: purpose. You're not just sitting back receiving healing and grace. You're now an active player with a mission to fulfill.
All right, so this brings us to the grand finale of the testimony. After laying out the healer, the key to access him, and the divine plan, the only thing left is the final appeal. This is where all the emotion comes to a head, and it's designed to push the listener from just understanding to actually taking action. And the call to action is incredibly simple. Give all your heart to Jesus Christ. It's not a complicated list of rules or doctrines. It's just one single, total act of commitment. And it's presented as the only logical thing to do after hearing all those promises. Now, to really sell you on this idea of total commitment, the speaker draws one final, incredibly powerful comparison. People, they say, can abandon you. It's a painful, unfortunate fact of life. But the divine, this testimony promises, will never abandon you. This is the final emotional anchor, a perfect solution to that universal fear of being left all alone. So in the end, by weaving together this promise of a supreme healer, the key of faith, a divine plan, and an unfailing companion, this testimony builds a really powerful case, both logically and emotionally. And it leaves us with a bigger question to think about. Separate from the belief itself, what does the structure of a story like this tell us about the universal human need for healing, for purpose, and for something that lasts forever?